So let's start with the competition this past Saturday. Can you tell me a little bit about it and obviously the highlights of it and you having such a successful day?
Sure. It was hosted at Maricosta College for AAU, which is the Amateur Athletic Union. And basically, I competed in 4 different categories. So I started with the Angels, and I got first an overall winner. Then I was in a sports model, and I did a basketball routine where I dribbled and gave a speech, and I got first place there. Then I did a pairs routine with my friend Mary, who also trains with my coach, and we made up a routine and we did well and won that. And then I finished with a figure in the elite category, and I got first in that. And then the best part was at the very end of the show, I got the overall female athlete winner out of all the girls.
Like in any sport, what does it mean to you to be crowned a champion at any level of anything? I mean, how much did that mean to you when you won that overall title?
Well, it means a lot to me. I mean, I wake up every day at 3:15 in the morning to get to training, and I really put the time and effort. If you know me, you know I'm a hard worker. If you know me and I played basketball back in the day with AAU, I was up at 4 a.m. shooting hoops before school, then after school, so it's in my nature, being a coach's daughter, to just always put in the time and effort, and hard work outbeats talent a lot of the time when you're willing to do that.
And you mentioned your dad a little bit, a coach out here in San Diego for a long time. He obviously instilled what I would guess is a lot of what makes you who you are today. How much of a role did he play in the person you are in getting into this style of competing?
My dad was never my coach. He was always a boys' coach. But, I mean, we did shooting drills every day, so he was always helping me on the sideline. And as a point guard in basketball, he instilled in me a lot of leadership qualities to be able to make not only myself better, but my teammates better, and to bring out the best in them. And that's what I do at my studio with my clients. With their fitness goals, I want to bring out the best in them. And so I take it pretty seriously that I want to lead them by example. And so when I get up there on stage, this is what your body's capable of if you put in the hard work, and if this is something you want to set your mind to, you can accomplish it.
Okay, and to an outsider just watching on TV maybe, how does one get into this style of competing? It's not like a lot of people are born at the age of 5 and go, I want to wake up and be a bodybuilder and a fitness model and all that. How do you get into this?
Actually, well, I have my master's degree in physical education and health science, and I opened a fitness studio here in Oceanside called Everybody's Fit. So fitness has always been a huge part of my life, but taking it to the next level, bodybuilding is a whole different ball game. And it really was a New Year's resolution, because it was my clients who kept asking me, like, why don't you do something like that? You're like pretty much there already. And I was like, well, I'm not into like all the supplements and all those things you have to do. And an old coworker of mine said, there's natural bodybuilding. If you want to do it, I'll help you. And that was in December. And so I just made it a New Year's resolution. I signed up, and in March I did my first competition, and I did really well. And I've gotten to travel the world. I've gone to Italy, South Korea, Australia. I've been on the world circuit, and that's incredible. And my husband's been a part of it all the way, so he's like my biggest cheerleader, and he's like when this is a solo sport, so he's like my teammate. And I'm gonna roll with it for as long as I can, because it's taken me all over the world and opened up so many different doors for me.
And let's talk about the big difference that you talked about a little bit, the natural versus the supplemental style. Kind of what, besides the obvious, what are the big differences, and how much more does it mean to you to be a part of that natural category opposed to the supplemental other style?
Right, so what AAU is, they bring in a third-party drug testing organization, so all the competitors are drug tested prior to being able to enter the stage. And what that does is it brings out the element of, this is just pure natural hard work, and you're representing your body and all that you've done to get there. And on the other side, where you might take performance enhancing supplements, what that does is it's to each their own, right? There's no diminishing the hard work and the effort and the diet and the exercise that they still have to do, but it's a different look. So for me, I still have a feminine, maybe softer look than someone who's able to take something that might be able to create, more muscle mass than naturally you're able to do so. So it's very different. Our shows might be a little bit smaller, but I really take a lot of pride in the fact that when I'm going through really difficult times because my body's just like depleted because I'm just eating clean and working out so hard and dieting, there's nothing I can take. So it's finding, fuel in the tank when there's nothing left. And that's where people like my clients and my husband and my dad and my coach, Lorenzo Gaspar, come into play to just keep me going, keep me on track. And then the head of AAU, Martin Drake, he's a really big encourager too. He really pushes me to do my best because I'm the AAU athlete rep. So when athletes have questions about the competitions, they might ask me and I'm able to help them. So again, there's another piece of the puzzle where I want to lead by example.
Okay, fantastic. From an outsider looking in, I think it's incredibly more impressive to be a part of the natural thing. But anyways, that's only my opinion. One of my final questions, as you mentioned, you had your bachelor's, heading towards a doctoral, right?
Yes.
Speak on that a little bit.
So right now, I'm a little bit over halfway through working on my doctorate in health and human performance. So with that, my dream is to be like a celebrity trainer or to work with a professional sports team. So the way that my mind works, and as someone who's very competitive, I'm stacking the deck so that if someone will notice me and want me to help them. I believe that there's a lot of players out there that at the professional level they could really reduce the injury rate if they had the proper strength and conditioning program. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that I'm really interested in doing, and I know a lot of that is who you know, but you know what, the more I get out there, the more I travel the world, the greater the opportunity I have to do that.
And then one final thing for me, you mentioned traveling the world, you're going to Italy, you're going all over. What does it mean to you? I don't know if you're a native of San Diego, but you obviously live out here. Your dad has a mark out here. What does it mean to you when you're going to these competitions to represent this city in Southern California when you're at these places?
Well, it's not just Oceanside, it's USA. Mm-hmm. So I'm representing, Team USA and going out there and when you travel the world, I mean, fitness, if we think fitness is big here in Southern California, you have no idea. When you get over there, it's a whole new world. Like in South Korea, it's just growing and booming. Same with China, all of those places. So you're going against really incredible competition and the way that they run their shows. And so when I come back, I'm able to share that information and those experiences with others so that AAU, we can learn from that, make our shows better, improve. And then what's really great is that one of AAU has now teamed up with one of the international organizations because we've made that connection together. So it's all coming together, and it's funny to think that I started just as a New Year's resolution, and now I'm helping others and living out my dream and still being able to compete. I don't play basketball anymore, but now it's different. Now I might go up on a swimsuit, but I still get to dribble a ball and sports model.
Perfect. I normally just like to ask at the end if there's anything you think I might have missed or anything you'd like to add. I think that's all the questions I have, but is there anything you'd like to add or anything?
Well, I just want to recognize all of those people that have helped me along the way. Mm-hmm. Definitely, like I said, my coach Lorenzo Gaspar, Martin Drake, all of my incredible clients here, they get me through the days when it seems endless and so far away, but it's just right around the corner. And then my dad, he's my coach in the corner all the time. And then, of course, my husband, Carl, who I don't know what everybody knows that Carl comes with the package, so he's noticeable, and I even brought him up on stage on Saturday when I did a little basketball routine.